So I am Jay. I'm going to talk about how to make smarter connections to AWS and improve your multi-cloud networking. I have two title slides. That's how important this topic is. And next I have two very content-rich slides, and I apologize, but these are more for like referring back to after I stop talking. But first off, I want to highlight, so what is the issue with cloud connectivity and using the public internet? And there's a lot of different views about this, and my company sells a heck of a lot of IP transit. We sell a lot of general internet access. So we're not, I'm not knocking on that, but for your mission critical applications, for your mission critical connectivity to the cloud, you're going to want to probably get off the public internet. You're going to want to get away from that 4.3 average hops that you're going to experience. And so by moving to dedicated private connectivity into your cloud service providers, there's going to be a couple of benefits that you're going to get. Obviously, enhanced security. By not having those 4.3 hops, you're reducing that attack vector. It's essentially one really long Ethernet cable, which is very nice. Greater control. You're going to have that dedicated connectivity. If you're using a direct connect partner like Console Connect, you're going to be able to manage, view, and monitor that connectivity through our portal, which is excellent. And then the last one is that improved reliability. At the core of our network, we're an MPLS shop. So we've got primary, secondary, and tertiary paths already defined should something happen, either with one of our terrestrial cable systems or one of our subsea cable systems. So we can dynamically reroute around that. But at the same point, we can also help you understand exactly what path that traffic is taking, and that becomes very important for things like regulatory situations. There we go. So AWS offers a couple of different options for directly connecting to them. So there's cloud hubs, which are people like Equinix and CoreSite, where you connect to, say, Equinix Cloud Exchange, and from there, you can then kind of broaden your umbrella into a number of different options. Bouncing to the right side of the slide, cloud ports. These are dedicated cloud connectivity ports. So this is a scenario where you happen to be co-located with one of the on-ramps. So for US East 1 for AWS, that's going to be up there in Herndon and Reston. If you happen to be directly co-located, you can run across connect. Life is grand. But you lose a lot of the flexibility and capability there because that becomes a dedicated connection. You can't really do anything else with it. And you're having to carry the cost of that that cross-connect. So this option here in the middle is what Console Connect actually enables in an automated fashion. So we've got both layer 2 and layer 3 connectivity, and not just to a single cloud service or a single cloud service region, but to multiple clouds or multiple cloud regions. So it offers you a lot of options to be able to really design and deploy your network exactly how it's used in your enterprise. So what is an AWS Direct Connect delivery partner? We're a lot of things, to be honest, but in particular to our talk today, we have gone and provisioned that connectivity already into these various on-ramps. We're in about 46, I think, regions of AWS right now, and we've already provisioned that connectivity. That then allows our customers, our enterprises that participate on our platform, to come and provision connectivity across those on-ramps. Those are .1Q encapsulated and segregated circuits, virtual circuits across that pre-configured on-ramp. So you're cutting down on the amount of time it's going to take to provision because it's almost immediate. The connectivity is already there. You don't have to worry about cross-connect or anything. But it also then dynamically improves your flexibility because you can spin up and down that bandwidth. You can provision new sites, tear them down, whatever you want to do. And that last bullet point really speaks to this. The difference is that we offer that flexibility and private connectivity and put that in the hands of the user to do with it as they please. So some of the main benefits, very easy to set up. If you've ever provisioned an AWS Direct Connect manually, if you've gone through the back and forth mechanism there of trying to interface and get everything set up correctly, it is a very tedious process. It's not fast, it's not quick. We have gone in and using the APIs that AWS and as well as many other cloud service providers provide, we've instrumented that API into our portal. So it makes it very easy, one button click, fill in a couple of bits of data, one button click, but it's very quick and very easy. The average time that it takes to provision a AWS Direct Connect on our platform is about 3 minutes. And most of that has to do with the two platforms needing to kind of interface with one another. You're going to get improved performance because that is dedicated connectivity. We do not oversubscribe our network, so if you provision a 1 gig circuit into AWS, you're going to get that full 1 gig. We're not going to contest it, and because it is dedicated, you're not having to compete with the entire rest of the world. It's very simple to manage. We have a user self-service portal. It's underlaid by REST API, so whether you want to log in and play with the pretty pictures or you want to allow your systems to utilize the API, both are present there. It's very scalable. If you want to spin up new connectivity, you just go onto the platform, pointy-clicky, easy peasy. You need to tear that down then, a week, a day, a month later, whatever. You can do that just as easily. You just deprovision it. This reduced network cost, this one is something that it's kind of the hidden gem of direct connectivity. And it's amazing that more people do not kind of put this at the top of their list. Egress over a direct connect is significantly cheaper than egress over the public internet. On average, you're going to save about 40% just by moving your traffic from public internet egress to a dedicated connectivity egress. No other changes to your infrastructure, you just make that one change, you're going to save about 40%. We actually have a white paper that I'll be glad to share with folks after this presentation that actually lays out the math of that. And then this last one, from any device to the cloud, Console Connect has a myriad of access options, whether it's a data center port, whether it's an edge port via a local loop provider. We have an IoT SIM play that allows you to use LTE, 4G, 5G in about 180 countries worldwide. That network will essentially serve as your last mile to get you to the Console Connect edge, and from there you're on our private MPLS backbone. So anyone that works in an enterprise and knows that there's no such thing as a single cloud enterprise. It's just not really a thing these days. So you're immediately faced with the prospect of needing to maintain multiple cloud service provider connectivity and then shift your data and traffic around through that. It happens. Inevitably, you'll have a team inside your company who've suddenly gone out and kind of gone rogue, and they've picked up either a new cloud region or a new cloud service provider, and suddenly they've deployed something that is mission critical on that, and suddenly you as an IT professional are having to support that and maintain it. It's nuts. High egress fees, again, as I said, we can save you on average about 40% on that front. Obviously the complexity of having to deal with multiple clouds or even multiple cloud regions, it's an insanely challenging prospect that many people are looking for a very simplified, easy button type solution to. So let's take away that complexity of that network configuration. As an AWS Direct Connect delivery partner, as I said, we've automated that building of those virtual interconnects into the various clouds, even reaching through those virtual interconnects into the SaaS properties that exist in those clouds. Makes it very easy for you as a user to just select the connectivity that you want, maintain and monitor it as you wish. You've got the freedom to operate exactly how you want. That's really one of the guiding principles of the Console Connect platform, is put the control in the hands of the user, in the hands of the person paying for the connectivity. So we do have a Layer 3 product that I've mentioned a couple of times. The really fascinating thing about our Layer 3 product is that it is a full mesh VPN. So you can add and remove sites and the network will automatically coalesce, and in the addition of a site, those routes suddenly get advertised to the mesh and propagate through it. If you remove a site, it goes just in reverse, those sites disappear from your mesh and no longer are being routed. But it makes it incredibly simple to scale your network, spin up, spin down sites, and really take control of exactly the type of connectivity that you want. Another really good benefit of our Layer 3 solution is that we put routing proximate to the on-ramps. So we're not going to backhaul your traffic halfway across the country just to route it for you. We're going to route it right there in the data center where that on-ramp exists. So What can Console Connect do for you? We've got kind of a three-legged stool here. Obviously, more efficient routing. As I just mentioned, we don't backhaul your traffic excessively across our network. There's no reason to. We've got routing and switching proximate to all of our endpoints. We give you a full cloud experience, allowing you to transfer data either between clouds or between cloud regions or all of the above, very simply. This last bullet point is actually really interesting. If you are looking for a solution to transfer data between cloud endpoints, there is no need for physical connectivity on the part of the enterprise. You can stand up a cloud router with 2, 3, 10, 12, whatever, different sites. All of them will begin networking with each other, no physical connectivity necessary, and that's kind of that last point there about the simple setup. It's really point and shoot. You go on the API, you go on the portal, provision as you wish, or you use the API to make the calls and to then monitor the resulting connectivity. So if you've decided that this sounds pretty neat, you're now asking yourself, well, what do I need to look for in a layer 3 software-defined interconnect provider? And one of the first things you're going to look at is this high performance aspect of it. And you're going to want to look at your vendor and make sure that they own the network that you are now provisioning on top of. It's important and it allows a lot of flexibility. Console Connect, we own all 750,000 kilometers of diverse cable. We own that 47 terabit of capacity. We don't need to oversubscribe it because we've already paid for it, we own it, we maintain it. There are some other providers out there who are leasing their connectivity year to year, and therefore those rates start floating. Your cost as an end user starts floating up and down, and you typically find congestion on that network because they're trying to really maximize the value out of it. You want to find a provider whose network reach matches that of your enterprise. If all of your enterprise sites are all in Germany or they're all in Western Europe, then great, find a provider that can overlap that very easily. But if you are an enterprise that has gone global like most of them have here of recent days, you're going to want to find a network provider who can provide you that far-reaching breadth and width network. Console Connect has, as I said, about 750,000 kilometers of diverse cable. We are in 50 plus countries across the globe, and the power that brings you as an enterprise end user is a single MSA can get you connectivity into Africa, it can get you connectivity into South America, it can get you connectivity into Europe, into Southeast Asia, Australia, pretty much anywhere on the globe we can get you connectivity with that single MSA. And that last bit, probably the most important, again, put the control in the hands of the user. You're the one paying for it, you're the one that should be making the decisions about whether you spin up or spin down your bandwidth or terminate a connectivity altogether. So bounce through a couple of use cases here, probably nothing surprising to anyone in the room. Obviously, multi-cloud or multi-cloud region, it's become the norm for any enterprise in this day and age. We allow you to build connectivity either layer 2 or layer 3 between clouds or between cloud regions. But what if you need to also incorporate your private cloud on-prem as well? It's just as easy. It's the exact same process with our platform. You just provision an access port for your enterprise cloud data center. It connects into our network, BGP or static routing. We just happen to show BGP here because it's fun. It becomes part of the mesh as well. Everything starts communicating with one another. This one's a little more exciting. Backup and redundancy. Typically, the solution to this is you provision redundant infrastructure and you have to then pay for that redundant infrastructure. And there are certainly scenarios in which that is the way to go. But one of the advantages of our platform with very flexible contract terms ranging anywhere from an hour to a day, hourly for our layer 3 connectivity, daily for our layer 2 connectivity, is that you can go ahead and provision this secondary path, this backup path, and you can just kind of leave it there sitting at a very low bandwidth just for heartbeat until such time as you need it, because we do have that API. If there's a failure, you can dynamically boost or burst the secondary link to whatever bandwidth you need it. Gives you that failover protection without necessarily having to have the carrying cost of that. Obviously, connecting to AWS is great. We all love it. We like to connect to our VPCs, but being able to reach through that into our SaaS providers that are mission critical for us as an enterprise is critically important as well. That's another scenario here that we have automated and made visible to our customers. We want you to very easily be able to incorporate such as Salesforce Hyperforce's solution here and be able to get that direct connectivity and have it just mesh with the rest of your network regardless of how that network happens to be designed and organized. Bit of an eye chart here kind of showing the AWS on-ramps that we have, and this is probably not an accurate design because we add more of them almost weekly. But this kind of shows where we have on-ramps in the various AWS regions, but at that same point you can also take this as kind of a overlay of where our global network can get you into and out of. So we do have a network map over at our booth if you want to come and see it in more detail, but this definitely shows the various breadth and width of our network. So the Console Connect topology itself, this kind of just reinforces what I've said. We've got kind of an onion there in the center. At the heart of it is our digital platform itself to order, settle, and manage. We wrap around that a REST API. We are a REST API development shop, and we develop the API first. And then we build the UI and various Frankenstein bits around that. So that's why you see the web application sitting around that. Our meeting place is our marketplace. Allows customers to come there and see what vendors are available through the platform, what vendors can offer them value-added services through our platform. Makes it very simple to find those solutions to the problems that you might be having. Down there at the bottom, I love that we call it a super network. As I mentioned, this is 750,000 kilometers of cable and 47 terabit of capacity, layer 1 through layer 3. We can get it to you. Even our layer 1 is automated now and will be available on the platform within the next 3 months. So huge advantage there. And then off to the right-hand side, you see there the business and operational support systems. We've got multiple global NOCs to respond to incidents that happen in our network or that our customers want to raise with us. So we're redundant even at that point. So how does this actually work from an AWS standpoint? Obviously we're at reInvent, so we're going to focus on AWS. So here on the left-hand side, you've got two different access methods that we're highlighting here. I'll start with the bottom left, the DC port. This is what we all know and love. You've got Kit in CoreSite SV1, you cross-connect to us, you're flying, you're good to go, life is grand. You can take that port and now provision multiple services on it if you want. Again, the port's yours, you're paying for it, you might as well provision it as you wish. You can even pull an IP transit feed over that port. You ask why you might want to do that, maybe for out-of-band management, or maybe you want to use that IP transit feed for some of the services that aren't necessarily accessible over a dedicated connection, such as, I was about to mention a competitor, so I won't do that. Workspace solutions that you might be using that aren't accessible over a direct connect. This edge port is a new offering that we've put on the platform in the last 3 to 6 months. It's available in 12 markets currently, but we're rapidly expanding this as well. The fascinating thing here, you go into the platform, you type in an address of a building, an office, whatever. We will come back and tell you what local loop providers are available, what the cost of that is, and we, Console Connect, will manage that infrastructure for you, getting that provision, getting it turned up, and then you're into our edge, and everything else available on the platform kind of hails off of that. In this case, you see the platform going to a direct connect, and then the ability to provision either a public, a private, or a transit virtual interface off of that direct connect. And then from there, you do whatever you want with your infrastructure. If you'd like to find out some more information, I think this probably takes you to consoleconnect.com. I'm Jay Turner at consoleconnect.com. Can't wait for the spam that comes from that. If you want to sign up, we've got a QR code here. The fascinating thing about signing up is that we have an online dynamic pricing tool. So you can go onto our platform, you can play around, you can price out various solutions to your heart's content. Cloud connectivity made easy. Pop by our stand. We are 306, which I think is about, right over here. Thank you very much, and I've been asked to remind you to please complete the session survey in the mobile app.